Libraries. Places of knowledge, yes, but also places of secrets. Places where the line between fact and fiction blurs, where the ghosts of stories past linger among the shelves. I've always been drawn to them, these repositories of the strange and unexplained. There's a certain thrill, don't you think, in the rustle of aging parchment, the scent of dust and decay? It whispers of forgotten things, of tales best left untold. I remember my first encounter with a haunted library. I was a young lad, barely old enough to read. My grandmother, a woman who believed in ghost stories as much as she believed in her morning tea, took me to a grand old library in the English countryside. The air was thick with the smell of leather and must. As I wandered the stacks, I felt a cold hand on my shoulder. I turned, but there was no one there, just the echo of my own fear in the oppressive silence. That, my friends, was the beginning of my fascination with haunted libraries. From the cobwebbed corners of ancient university libraries to the dimly lit aisles of forgotten public collections, tales of haunted libraries abound. These are places where the weight of knowledge, of countless stories read and reread, seems to seep into the very walls. The air crackles with a strange energy, a sense of unseen eyes watching your every move. Take, for instance, the story of the spectral librarian at the Wren Library in Cambridge. Legend has it that he was a scholar, so devoted to his books that he died in the very room that now houses his ghostly presence. Visitors have reported seeing him late at night, his skeletal fingers tracing the spines of his beloved volumes. Then there's the tale of the haunted library at Hampton Court Palace. The ghost of Catherine Howard, the ill-fated fifth wife of Henry VIII, is said to roam the halls, her anguished cries echoing through the centuries. They say she was imprisoned there before her execution, and her despair lingers still. One story that always sends shivers down my spine is that of the ghost of Combermere Abbey Library in Cheshire, England. In 1891, Sybil Corbett captured a chilling photograph. Her husband's funeral procession was outside. When she developed the photo, a translucent figure appeared. It resembled her late husband. Was it a trick of the light or something more sinister? The ghost of Combermere Abbey remains a mystery. Hampton Court Palace, a magnificent Tudor palace, is not short of ghost stories. But there's one tale that's particularly unsettling, one that revolves around a mysterious, unseen hand. Deep within the palace walls lies a small, unassuming library. Beware, for it's said that the unseen hand roams these shelves. Visitors have reported feeling a sudden chill, a prickling sensation on the back of their necks. Some have even claimed to have felt a ghostly hand brush against their own. The unseen hand of Hampton Court Palace continues to send shivers down the spines of those brave enough to enter its domain. Across the pond, in the heart of Indiana, stands the Willard Library. Built in 1876, it's a place steeped in history, its shelves home to countless tales. But it's the library's resident ghost, affectionately nicknamed the Grey Lady, that truly captures the imagination. Her story is one of love, loss, and a lingering presence that refuses to be forgotten. They say she was once a frequent visitor to the library, a young woman with a thirst for knowledge and a passion for literature. But tragedy struck, and she died young, her spirit forever bound to the place she loved. Librarians and visitors alike have reported seeing her, a shimmering grey figure gliding between the stacks. She's said to be a benevolent presence, watching over the library and its patrons. Some even claim to have felt her gentle touch, a reassuring presence in the stillness of the library after dark. Whether she's rearranging books, tidying shelves, or simply observing the living, the Grey Lady has become an integral part of the Willard Library's legacy. The image of a spectral librarian is a common one in haunted library lore. Perhaps it's their love of knowledge, their desire to preserve and protect the written word, that keeps them tethered to this mortal coil. Or perhaps it's something more profound, a connection to the very essence of the stories they cherish. One such tale hails from the University of Chicago's Harper Library. Students and staff have whispered stories of a ghostly librarian, a stern-looking man in a tweed jacket who roams the stacks after hours. He's said to be harmless, more of a guardian than a threat, but his presence is undeniably unnerving. Some say he's the spirit of a former librarian, fiercely protective of his domain. Others claim he's a scholar, so engrossed in his research that he never truly left the library, even in death. Whatever the truth may be, the spectre of the librarian at Harper Library serves as a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge can transcend even death itself. Haunted libraries are rarely havens of malevolent spirits. More often than not, they are places where the veil between our world and the next seems to thin, where the echoes of the past bleed into the present. These spectral intrusions often manifest in subtle ways, unexplained occurrences that send shivers down the spine but pose no real threat. Cold spots, for example, are a common phenomenon in haunted libraries. These are areas where the temperature drops suddenly and dramatically, often accompanied by a feeling of unease. Some believe that cold spots are caused by the presence of spirits, their spectral forms drawing energy from their surroundings. Then there are the unexplained noises, the rustling of pages when no one is near, the soft thud of a book falling from a shelf, the faint whisper of voices long silenced. These auditory anomalies can be unnerving, to say the least, especially in the stillness of a library after dark. Section 8. The shadowy figure in the reading room. The reading room, a sanctuary for bookworms and bibliophiles, is often the epicenter of paranormal activity in haunted libraries. It's in these quiet spaces, surrounded by the written word, that we're most receptive to the whispers of the beyond. One such tale comes from the Los Angeles Central Library, a grand Art Deco building with a history as rich as its collection. For years, visitors to the library's reading room have reported seeing a shadowy figure lurking in the stacks, a tall, imposing presence that seems to melt away when approached. Some believe it's the ghost of a former patron, his love of literature keeping him tethered to the library, even in death. Others speculate that it's a manifestation of the collective energy of countless readers, their thoughts and imaginations imprinting themselves on the very fabric of the building. Whatever the explanation, the shadowy figure in the reading room remains a source of fascination and unease for those who dare to visit the Los Angeles Central Library after dark. Section 9. The mysterious disappearances. While most haunted libraries boast tales of harmless spectral encounters, some harbor darker secrets. These are places where objects vanish without a trace, where books disappear from locked rooms, and where the line between reality and nightmare blurs. One such library can be found in the depths of the British Museum. Legend has it that a certain section of the library is cursed, plagued by a series of unexplained disappearances. Books have a habit of vanishing from this section, only to reappear days, weeks, or even months later in completely different locations. Some whisper that the culprit is a mischievous spirit, a spectral prankster with a penchant for literary theft. Others believe that the library itself is sentient, its vast collection of knowledge somehow influencing the fabric of reality. Whatever the truth may be, the mysterious disappearances at the British Museum Library serve as a chilling reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed. The legend of the cursed book, a staple of haunted library lore, books imbued with malevolent energy. One such tale is housed in the National Library of France, said to contain dark rituals and forbidden knowledge. Legend has it, readers suffer a terrible fate. Some say it drives readers mad. The library has never confirmed its existence. Section 11. A legacy of terror. Haunted libraries are more than just repositories of books. They are repositories of stories, both real and imagined. They are places where the past lingers, where the echoes of forgotten lives whisper through the stacks, and where the line between fact and fiction blurs. They are places that ignite our imaginations, tap into our deepest fears, and remind us that some mysteries are best left unsolved. So the next time you find yourself wandering the aisles of an old library, take a moment to listen. You might just hear the whisper of pages turning, the soft thud of a book falling from a shelf, or the faint echo of a voice long silenced. And if you're feeling brave, venture into the darkest corners, the forgotten sections where the air hangs heavy with the weight of untold stories. Just be careful not to disturb the spirits that reside there, for they are the guardians of a legacy of terror, the keepers of secrets best left undisturbed. Section 12. Dare you enter? These are just a few tales of haunted libraries, places where the whispers of the past mingle with the rustle of turning pages. Do you believe in such stories, or are they merely figments of our overactive imaginations, fueled by darkness and the unknown? I leave that for you to decide. But I urge you, dear reader, embrace the thrill of the unknown. Visit these haunted libraries if you dare. Immerse yourself in their eerie silence. Let the weight of history and the whispers of the past wash over you. You never know what you might find lurking amongst the shelves.